Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Play Branson, where you get to know Branson entertainers better. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm here with my co-host, Haley Westrich.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
So I heard you had an interesting experience not too long ago.
Yeah, I went to the Dean Z show, which was fabulous, but the fire alarms ended up going off about 30 minutes into the show, so we were all evacuated outside for about 40 minutes. Meanwhile, Dean Z comes out and actually plays outside before we all go in. He finishes the show, but kind of crazy.
So he came outside and played, and then eventually everybody went back in.
Yes.
And you told me it went to like 1 o'clock in the morning.
It was close to 1, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
And so, Dean, I just got to say, man, you rolled with the punches, and what I heard is you did an awesome job, and thanks for going outside and taking care of the people out in the parking lot. And I know those people are committed to you because they stayed, right?
Yes, almost all of them stayed. I mean, it was still a full house.
So anyway, good job, Dean. We love what you're doing, and I wish I could have been there this year, but unfortunately I was out of town. So tell people about our guest coming up.
We've got people from the King's Castle Theater with us. So super excited. They've got a new show over there, so anxious to learn about that.
So we have Ryan Walton and Lisa Harvey, and so they'll be on in just a minute. So we're doing this. We used to do this segment called Dumb Questions or Things That Make You Go, Yes. And so we're bringing it back for some episodes. I'm not sure how long it'll last, but here we go. Here's some of our dumb questions or things that make you go, Why do people say they sleep like a baby even though a baby wakes up every 2 hours during the night? That's interesting. That's interesting. Why is the word abbreviated so long?
That's a good point.
It is. And it's sometimes hard to spell, too. A lot of words there. Letters. Why is it that when you're driving and looking for an address, you turn down the volume on the car?
Have you done that?
I maybe have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. I've noticed myself doing it a couple of times.
Yeah.
I don't know why we do it, though.
I don't know. Is there another word for synonym?
Oh.
Did I get that word right? Did I say
Synonym?
it right?
I think
synonym? It's kind of like, it sounds like cinnamon.
Yeah.
Kind of. Why do we have to pay a toll on a freeway?
That's true.
There you go. Okay, out of those questions, I guess there's about 5 there. Which one do you think is the dumbest?
I like the abbreviated one.
I'm going to agree with you this time. I don't always agree with you, but I think that's a pretty dumb question that we have here. So May is just around the corner. And folks, if you haven't planned your Branson vacation, now is the time to start thinking about that. And we'll talk about one of the shows coming up here in just a moment. So stay tuned.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Folks, welcome back to Play Branson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. And today I'm here with 2 entertainers that it's the first time I've got to meet them, so I'm excited to meet them. I'm with Ryan Walton and Lisa Harvey. So good to have you here on the Play Branson show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So there's people probably like me that really don't know your background and who you are, and we always like to talk about that and get the history of our entertainers in Branson. So Ryan, why don't you start and kind of give us a little bit of your history and your background, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, my name is Ryan Walton. I am from Kansas City originally, and I moved down here in about 2001. Came to do a show that is no longer in Branson, but I was here for several years, and then I went out on cruise ships, and then I went and did some regional theater and joined the union, did booked shows like, booked musicals and things like that, and then came back to Branson, then left Branson again, then came back again. So I've been in and out for ever since, actually, and I came back a few years ago, and I've decided to stay put.
So what was the first show that you did in Branson that you said is no longer here anymore?
Lost in the 50s. It was actually at the
Okay.
Starlight Theater, and
Yes.
it was a 50s show there, and I also did a show called Red Hot and Blue for several years. Both of those shows are not in Branson anymore, but I got a taste of Branson back then and decided to stay. So then I kept working in different theaters and different shows for several years and kept coming back and trying a new show and then coming back again.
So the Lost in the 50s show was a well-produced 50s show, and then Red Hot and Blue had a long run
Yes.
in Branson.
Very long run, yes. I was in that from 2001 all the way until it closed last year, I think it was.
Wow.
It was the last performance.
And
for
so
it.
what role did you play in that show?
I've actually been, most shows that I've done here in Branson, I've been a swing. So a swing is essentially a person who does everybody's part. So with Red Hot and Blue, I generally played everybody, and it changed on a daily basis. So with that show, I was pretty well versed in all of all the parts.
So besides a singer, then you're a good dancer.
Yes, I'm also a dancer. I actually, at King's Castle Theater, I still dance now, and I do both there.
Okay. Lisa, kind of give us, you're new to Branson. You just told me here you had moved here in February, right?
That is correct, yes. I'm originally from the UK, and I had performed there for many years. I actually, like Ryan, was on cruise ships for around 11 years.
Oh, wow.
And we actually worked on the same cruise ship, and we
Just
only
different
just
times.
found this out, but just different years. So we were familiar with the same shows and the same friends, and that's kind of how it is with show business. I'm sure you know, it's such a small world. But yeah, I actually moved here in February to join the King's Castle Theatre with Ryan, and my husband actually used to work here in the Andy Williams Theatre in Norwood on Night, and my brother also works over at the King's Castle. So we decided to all move here together. So we're lucky enough to perform together in the shows, and that's kind of what brought us back here. So yeah, we're having a great time.
So you performed on cruise ships, and tell me a little bit about like the shows or whatever role you would do there.
I was a production singer mainly on cruise ships, and also a headliner as well, which means you will do your own show for the theater, and it's just your own production. But for the most part, Ryan and I both were production singers. It's very similar to a Broadway-style show for the most part. They would have different themes, but we would do a Broadway-style show, a classical-style show, maybe your pop and rock type production show. So it's very demanding vocally for us because we have to do so many different styles, but that's what makes it most enjoyable, and that's kind of what we're doing here at the King's Castle Theatre, so many different styles of music.
Right.
It's so much fun for us to do that.
So how did you get the job, so to say, in Branson? Was it connections? Did you have to audition?
No,
How
we
did that?
always have to audition. Ryan and I both, and the rest of the cast. Auditions are, you have to go through that grueling experience. It's nerve-wracking, but it's part of what we do. You go there, put your best foot forward. You sing, you dance, and you kind of have to do everything. And then they let you know if you get the position. And here we are.
Here you are. And so you've been in Branson for really just a few months. And so had you had any experience in Branson previous to this?
I've been here many times just as a tourist,
Okay.
but never to perform. So it's new for me, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. The theater's great. We're having a great time. We have a great cast this season, very positive. We're all having a great time. And, of course, we have a brand new show that we're going to talk about here soon that we've thoroughly enjoyed putting together. And so we're excited for that.
So did you move here directly from the UK?
I did not.
No?
My husband is from Kentucky originally.
Okay.
So we sort of came here as a couple, but we had lived in Las Vegas prior to that. So
Okay.
yeah.
So this is a big difference than Las Vegas.
It is. I mean, we have the Strip, which is the same kind of thing, but just on a smaller scale. But no, it's really nice for us. It's the little things. We're enjoying having the seasons and the lake, which is something you never really have in Las Vegas. So
Yes,
we're enjoying
yes.
the small things, and we're thoroughly enjoying ourselves.
Some people sometimes compare us to like a small Las Vegas, but I'm like, we're the wholesome, family-friendly component. So we don't have the strippers like Vegas does, but we do have the Strip. So just for those of you that might have got confused there, but Branson is a place where I found a lot of entertainers come to really kind of grow roots, so to say, and have a family and have some stability. And it kind of sounds like that's kind of what you and your husband kind of decided.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. It is such a friendly place and such a family-orientated place. Vegas is so large, and you sort of get lost here. It's very personal. We're loving the relationships that we're making at the theater and with friends. And yes, maybe it will become a permanent place. Who knows? But we're thoroughly enjoying ourselves so far.
So, question for both of you: like, how did you know you wanted to get in the entertainment business, and did it happen on accident, or did you like go to school for training, or how did that all happen?
For for myself, I mean, I performed in high school and things like that. And then my first professional job actually was working at a theme park in Kansas City called Worlds of Fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I worked there for seasons and after seasons while I went to college. And I went to college for opera and got my degree in that while I was working at Worlds of Fun during the summers. So it was just kind of a transition. And then a friend of mine was performing at Worlds of Fun, and she got hired down in Branson. And I didn't even know anything about Branson, which is what's interesting because I'm from Missouri, but Kansas City is a very different, atmosphere. Yeah. So I decided to come down and audition, and I was hooked. I loved it. So that's how I ended up down here.
Okay, awesome.
For me, yes. I trained in the UK in performing arts. My first professional job was the UK tour of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Yeah, I understudied the lead for that show, and I was also in the ensemble on those days that I did not understudy the lead. So that was a great experience. But yeah, like Ryan, I've done it since a child. Just, singing lessons, dancing lessons, and it runs in my family. My family full of singers. So.
Well, awesome. Yeah. It's great to hear that history, and it's neat to see that, like, you guys, this is something that you set out to do this as your career path, and now you're doing it here in Branson, Missouri. So we'll be back in just a moment, and we're going to hear about the new show at King's Castle and what roles they play. And so we'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the stage, the stars of New Jersey Nights, as they bring you the music of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Oh, what a night. Why'd it take so long to see the light? It seems so wrong, but now it seems so right. Sweet surrender, what a night. I felt a rush like a rolling ball of thunder, spinning my head around and taking my body under. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are going from glen to glen and down. Sand mountain, you raise me up.
Welcome back to Play Branson. We are here today with Ryan Walton and Lisa Harvey. Did I get that? I got that right, Harvey. I almost couldn't read my writing there. And they are with King's Castle Theater. And there's lots of shows at the King's Castle Theater, but the first one we want to talk about, and the newest one, is Sinatra and Friends. Sinatra and Friends. And so kind of walk someone through, either one of you, what is Sinatra and Friends, like the role and the roles you guys play?
Well, basically, most of our shows are musical review type shows. However, Sinatra is a little bit different. There's a little bit of character work done with it. So there's people that try to guide you through each section of the show. And what we're trying to do is capture different moments in Sinatra's history. He had a TV show. He had a lot of famous recordings. He used to play in Vegas. And so we like to try to touch on each one of those aspects of his life. And with the Friends portion, we have all the people that have been a part of his TV show, or the Rat Pack, the boys, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr. So we try to incorporate those as well, and that's how the ladies are also involved in the show, because, he had that TV show, so he had guests like Judy Garland and Peggy Lee and things like that. So we get a lot of different styles of music in this show, but also get to take you on a bit of a journey, where some shows it's just a musical review, but this one tries to follow different portions of his life.
Now, has this show played like any other venues, or is this the first place it's been done at?
Actually, no, this is the first production of this show. We just thought that it was a good demographic for Branson, and so we decided that we would try to put something together for that, and we just opened it up, and it's getting a great response, so we're really excited about it.
Awesome. Lisa, can you tell us a little bit more about the show, or what role you play in the show?
Absolutely, yes. There are many other female singers along with myself, usually two in the show at one time. But we get to sing the wonderful songs of Ella Fitzgerald, Judy Garland, Peggy Lee. And like Ryan said, it's just a great way of sort of telling the audience about Frank's relationships with these people that he's worked with throughout the years. So we do tell you fun little stories about his life and his relationship with these people. And that's sort of my role. I sing a lot of those female songs as well, but all of us sort of get to sing Frank's music, whether it be duets or trios or as a group, and sort of make it our own. So yeah, we all get to do a little bit of Frank in there as well.
So it's not necessarily like one person playing Frank. It's like you guys are basically singing the songs through a choreographed, production.
Right. We don't have a specific Frank impersonator. We all will take turns remembering these songs in our own way. For instance, there's moments where Lisa will sing a Frank tune herself, but it's a girl doing it, so it's a new take on a classic that Frank would do. So that way it keeps it fresh and interesting for different people. And so we don't have a specific Sammy Davis Jr. or Dean Martin. We revisit their music. So
Okay. Well, and I think that's an important point to make, because sometimes people, when they go to a tribute show, they think they're going to see someone that looks exactly like, and that's not what this show is about. Well, I think it's exciting that a new show's being debuted in Branson. I think that's really exciting. Isn't there something with Frank Sinatra and Lady Gaga? Do you know anything about this?
Well, I mean, I know that she did a version of New York, New York that he did, and we liked it, and we were like trying to pull ideas from it and things like that, just because it's a really well-known version that she did, because she did a lot of CDs as well with Tony Bennett and things like that, so she's really into that flavor as well. And so we tried to incorporate, okay, this is a great thing that brings a youthful energy to something, and we wanted to try and incorporate some of that energy into it.
So what days does the show play? Or days or nights or whatever?
Right now, we're playing Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And during the months of May, August, September, and October, we add a Saturday matinee as well for you.
So there's 4 to 5 per week, and they're in different time slots during the day, so that way there's something, if you'd like to see it in the morning, there's a morning option, afternoon, evening. We have it on a rotation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you'll have to check the schedule, folks, on when it actually is, but it's a variety of times throughout the week. And so you guys are playing in, Ryan, you're playing in 4 shows, and Lisa, you're playing in 3 shows. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about some of the other shows that somebody can expect to see this year at the King's Castle Theater.
Okay. Well, we have Broadway, The Greatest Hits, which is a Broadway review show, and that show is actually a lot of fun. It's got a lot of sets and costumes and props, and essentially that one we'll go and we highlight all of the great musicals that you would see, all the classics like West Side Story and Les Mis and Phantom of the Opera, but you also see newer ones like Mamma Mia and Wicked and things like that. So we try to just give you a taste of each of those, and have that show is more sectionalized by what each show gets a featured moment. And so we try to do that, and it's actually a lot of fun, because in one moment I'll get to play Jean Valjean and sing these songs, and then the next I'm doing cabaret and playing the MC. So it's fun to play a lot of different characters within one 2-hour show.
Okay. And then what other show that you want to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the Dublin's Irish Tenors and the Celtic Ladies. So Ryan and myself are involved in that, and also we have a large cast for that. And lots of us do have Irish roots, Celtic roots. I'm from Wales originally. So it just takes you back in time, some of the beautiful Irish songs, Scottish, even parts of England. We visit with the Beatles. We've got a great Beatles section. So we've got a thoroughly just a whole array of music in that show. And then we have New Jersey Nights,
Yes.
which Ryan can
We have New
help
Jersey
with.
Nights, which is a tribute to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. And again, this is celebrating Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons music. We don't have a specific Frankie per se, but we do. We have all of his great music, and we have people that obviously sing it in the style of Frankie as well. But that one just highlights a lot of different aspects of his career, his solo work, his ensemble work, and we try to have a little bit of a storyline with that show as well, take you through the journey of, the music that you'd hear in the bar, or the music that you would see at the studio and things like that. And so, and the live performance in concert. And they all the shows, except for the tenors, the Dublin's Irish Tenors and Celtic Ladies, have a cast full of dancers as well. So it's a full production for every show. You see the Dublin's Irish Tenors and Celtic Ladies is a singer-based concert style show. So it's a much more classy of a production in that.
And so New Jersey Nights, I don't think a lot of people realize how many hits Frankie Valli in the fourth
so
season.
many.
I mean, it was a ton of hits.
At least 2 hours worth.
Yeah. And we also have to mention Christmas Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that show myself last year. Great Christmas show, but that's coming up later this year, November, December as well. And so, folks, there are a lot of shows over at the King's Castle Theater, and so we've got to hear a little bit about each of them, but also the new show that is debuting there this year, Sinatra and Friends. And so would highly encourage you to go check it out. The King's Castle folks always put on great shows with great costumes and choreography like they talked about, and a big cast. And so we would encourage you to go to ibranson.com where you can book shows to their theater as well as other theaters. So if you need help planning your entire vacation, you can go to ibranson.com or you can call 1-877-ENTERTAIN. Those folks will help you out. And so this has been another segment here with our entertainers in Branson. And hang tight, we're going to go off site in just a moment.
The Platinum Award-winning Comfort Inn at Thousand Hills overlooks the Thousand Hills Golf Course in Branson and features a unique mountain lodge theme. The guest rooms are spectacular. Enjoy a free hot breakfast every day. Cool off in the refreshing indoor pool and hot tub. For more information or reservations, call 1-877-335-4727.
Hey folks, we're on location here today at Pizza World, and who doesn't love pizza? Pizza is one of my favorite things, and we're out on the West Highway 76 location. This is a locally owned restaurant. They have fresh dough here. They have a wonderful buffet here right behind me at lunch or dinner. But if you don't want to do buffet, they also have the menu service. And so you can get things like calzone, subs, pastas, gourmet pizzas, desserts. You can get a wide variety of things off their menu. And then on the buffet, of course, they have a wide variety of pizzas. They have unlimited wings. You can eat eat wings as well. They've got pastas, a variety of salad type dishes. I've personally eaten here a lot of times. It's really good food. I really enjoy it. The other thing, if you're going to eat here at night, the beautiful thing is you can sit here and watch the Ferris wheel just outside the windows next to us. So you really get a free light show when you're eating pizza. It's also located around all of the action in town. We've got the Track Family Fun Parks. We've got Jim Stafford's theaters, the Hughes Brothers, all sorts of things to do right around here. So come bring your family to Pizza World here on West Highway 76. Now, you may be sitting in your hotel room and you're like, I want somebody to deliver. But you're like, who should that be? Well, guess what? Pizza World can do that as well. They'll do delivery also. So whether you want to dine in or dine out, Pizza World's a great option for you here in Branson, Missouri. So come check it out. I love pizza.
Me too.
And I love all you can eat pizza.
Even better.
And Pizza World has a great buffet, and they have a variety of pizzas. They have salad bar, they have chicken, they have all sorts of stuff out there. And so I like to go out to Pizza World and eat. And of course, it's in the middle of everything out there. And so folks, if you haven't been to Pizza World, haven't checked out their pizza, they actually have 2 locations in the Branson area. One out on West Highway 76 next to the Ferris wheel and tracks, and then out on East 76, kind of the other part of town. So be sure to check them out. Tomorrow night, we got a big star coming to Branson.
We do.
Do you know?
I can't remember who it is.
It is Trace
Adkins, yes.
He will be at the Welk Resort, and Billy Dean is going to be back in town. Billy performed in Branson for several years on a consistent basis, so he's coming back making a special guest appearance with
awesome.
Trace Adkins. And I just saw the movie, I think God's Not Dead, and I think Trace was actually in it. I'm pretty sure it was him. I'm not great with all my movie entertainers, but I think Trace was in it. Or maybe it was I Can Only Imagine.
Oh,
maybe that's the movie. It was one of them. But anyway, he did a good job. And then next Thursday, we have Bluegrass and Barbecue starting out at Silver Dollar City. So that's a big festival, a lot going on, lots of entertainers from all over the country. And then something else we wanted to talk about, we have a new Play Branson website.
We do. So check it out. It's got all of the up-to-date photos and episodes. So it's really neat.
So this is now episode number 65. And so if you're like, have they done an interview with one of my favorite Branson entertainers? Go on the website. I think just about every episode is on there. And so there's a lot of episodes. They can get a lot of the history of the Branson entertainers on the. It's hard to believe we've been doing this for 65 episodes. Our next show coming up next week, we've got James Sibley and quartet member Tony Turner from Pierce Arrow. So you guys will want to be sure to check that out. They also have a new show called Decades. And so they'll be talking about that show as well. And so you'll want to be sure to check that show out next Thursday that we launch. If you're thinking about planning your Branson vacation, we want to encourage you to go to the folks at ibranson.com. They can help plan your entire vacation. You can book it online, or you can call them at 1-877-ENTERTAIN. We want to thank you for watching another edition of Play Branson, and we'll see you next week.
Try something different this vacation. Bring the whole family to Branson Segway. Segways are the most fun on two wheels since the bicycle. It's safe and fun. Ride at your own pace on our specially designed track. You can do it.
I don't know if I can do this, guys. I don't know.
To get your family from ho-hum to adventure, ride a Segway. Branson Segway and Adventure Center on Highway 165, just 1 block south of Titanic.
Come on, slowpokes! Ride like the wind!